And it has been a very short break. Welcome back to the Katowice 2019 closed qualifiers for East Asia. My name is Hysterics. This is Elfish Guy. It has been a while since we've been back on your screen, but we are here now, and we're looking for the final qualification match for the Asian Minor between GOSU and Storm Rider.
Yeah, if you're still here, I'm pretty impressed. Kudos.
I probably like 800 people watching it.
Yeah, but look,
great.
yeah, you're right. We're into our final match now. At least for this part of the qualifier, there's obviously still the Middle East qualifiers. There's the China qualifiers. There's the Oceania qualifiers. Still all of them to go for the Asia Minor. But at least as far as East Asia is concerned, which is the likes of Korea, Japan, Mongolia, etc., this is going to be the last match. It does come down to GOSU and Storm Rider, the team from Mongolia, which, you know, like these two teams were never necessarily expected to be like world beaters or anything like that. I wouldn't have said either of these two teams are a shoe-in for the minor like I would say for MVP, for example. So I do think that this matchup probably will be a little closer than what we saw from MVP and GOSU.
Well, for a team like Storm Rider, they have actually pushed MVP to all 3 maps, so there is potential that Storm Rider definitely, they may not have been expected to get to this point, but they've definitely put up a good fight to get here. We are going to look at the vetoes and get straight into this next game because it has been a bit of a wait for you all and, of course, for us. So let's move forward because for MVP, the defeat against them by Storm Rider was actually on the likes of Inferno. Still no ban of that just yet from GOSU.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really touch too much on these maps because we haven't seen so much from these players. I think GOSU will be happy, actually, that Nuke's gone there, to be honest, because they probably would have banned Nuke anyway themselves. Let's just go ahead and have a look at what the map pool is actually going to be here. Mirage, Inferno, you know what, I wouldn't be surprised to see a Keish here as the 3rd and final map, to be honest. This is the classic Asian Counter-Strike meta at the moment. Everybody wants to play Mirage, Inferno. Keish actually does get banned away, which does leave us for Train. GOSU, in theory, should be okay with that because it was their choice against MVP. They did kind of get a little bit wrecked on that one, but MVP is kind of one story. I don't think that Storm Rider is necessarily going to be up to the same caliber that MVP will be or would be. For me, I don't think you can read too much into this map pool. You know, Mirage and Inferno, both teams should be able to play that one pretty okay. I guess I'd probably be leaning on GOSU a little bit with that choice of Train as the 3rd map.
On that note,
if we get there.
Especially from what we just saw, GOSU got pretty much shut out by MVP. It was a 2-0. It ended so abruptly, and MVP just showed them exactly where they stand. GOSU now, it's a redemption story against Storm Rider. Storm Rider beat Absolute, which they were the team we're expecting to make it through. So I guess there is a hero story for both of them, but more so Storm Rider coming through, especially since they're the Mongolian team, the only one to make it this far. And Storm Rider kind of need to live up to their reputation as well. Yeah,
I mean, for Storm Rider to come through from that lower bracket, you definitely can say that they've had a pretty hard-fought way to kind of get through to the Asian Minor if they do make it here. GOSU, on the other hand, they had to go through the upper bracket. You know, they've had a bit of a break now. Storm Rider, on the other hand, did just finish off that match against Absolute. You did say, I mean, we expected to see Absolute go through here in this position. I would have put my money on Absolute if I had to, but I guess surprisingly they do go down 16-12 in that final map. It was a pretty close series actually between Absolute and Storm Rider. You know, we're talking about Storm Rider and we're sort of saying, oh, we didn't expect them to be here. I guess that's a little unfair given that they do have a few pretty strong players from the Mongolian region that we would be used to seeing, you know, some former Mongols players. And, you know, at this point in time, 2 or 3 years ago, going into the Asian Minors, the Mongols were the best team within the Asian region. Talking things like Sogu and NCL, or players Sogu and NCL. Mara was in the Mongols for a little bit toward the end of their tenure, but never really in the strong Mongols roster. But the Mongolian scene has always been quite reasonable when it comes to the Counter-Strike within the Asian region. They have at times been touted as maybe the next sort of region to be able to do something internationally, but that never really eventuated. And now I think the Mongolian teams have actually fallen off quite substantially. They definitely aren't reaching those lofty heights that they used to. You've lost a few of the big names like Machine Gun and Zilkenberg, who were the 2 players for the original Mongols roster. They were the dynamic duo that everybody talked about. Dobu not really in any of the Mongolian rosters anymore. He's still playing on 5 power. So you're missing missing out on him. I mean, Cabal's gone to 5 power as well. So that old sort of Mongolian core roster has sort of been split up a little bit, and this is sort of, I think, the leftovers in a sense that have now sort of tried to make it work with a full Mongolian core as opposed to joining forces with a few Chinese players like a couple of the other guys.
Yeah.
In the end, though, Storm Rider are going to be starting off on T side here on Mirage. We'll see what they can do. I'm probably going to back GOSU for this series, but I think it's probably a 2-1.
Well, if we go the distance, we'll see. But for Storm Rider, the rise to fame, bringing the Mongols back into that form. Jinx will be the first frag of the map here. And for Storm Rider, again, trying to bring their way in. A 2-1 over Beyond was a great bit of success there. Stack's actually burnt out and across the map as well. That's News, who just pops through, gets the OK as well. And all this distraction here, News has pretty much done enough for Storm Rider to maybe just secure this round.
Well, I would say so. They've got the bomb down now on the A side. They seem completely unconcerned at all about what GOSU is doing. Stax is still on the B bomb side, so really, I think it's a bit of a slow start here from GOSU. They took a little bit to really work their way into this first round. HSK will hit a nice shot. There's still a chance for a win here from GOSU, and that's exactly how it could come about. And it's 9-9, Nin-9, I don't know, here in the final clutch. Through the smoke, just needs one shot and he'll get it. That will win the round, I think, here for Storm Rider, as there's not going to be enough time for the defuse. A little unfortunate that whoever was on the defuse there wasn't actually behind the box, instead was sitting out in the smoke. But that's all she wrote in the end. Storm Rider a little bit too close for comfort. But yeah, to me, it kind of felt like GOSU was caught napping a little bit there. A couple of the players just getting their heads popped off before they really realized what was going on. I think GOSU need to warm up again. They've had a very, very long break, much like ourselves.
It's been 2 hours.
A couple of hours, yeah, and they've just been sitting around waiting for this game to start. So they would definitely be feeling a little lethargic, I feel. And Storm Rider taking advantage of that, starting off pretty well. Big stack over on B right now, though, from GOSU. But not going to be too much of a cause for concern right now for Storm Rider, as you can see, they're setting themselves up for a take on A.
Storm Rider as well. I mean, when you come off the back of a 2-1, half an hour of a break, if that, you go, well, GOSU. They don't feel in the fresh air. They'll just push on the side, of course. And stack on B means that GOSU need to move their way through markets and most likely through jungle in the back of CT. And hoping for a pick or two here as well.
Yeah, they'd love to find a way to use these HE nades, and they may just be able to do that straight into Firebox. There goes Nin-9.
Let's just call him 9.
Yeah, I think we'll just go with 9.
Or Nina.
But all in all, though, it's not really going to be enough to get GOSU back into this retake. If they had a bit of armor, might be able to take some more committed battles against these MAC-10s, but even at a long range, MAC-10 is just going to be able to run around and easily dispatch of GOSU. So fair enough, good round there for Storm Rider. Would have been nice to see GOSU try something earlier with the HE nades, but I don't think they would have gotten anything done because they were on the B bomb site. So whatever, that round's done.
Well said.
GOSU now can buy. I mean, look, it's an eco round, like, who cares? Literally, who cares? No one wants to watch that round anyway. Let's get the gun rounds going, because this is where we get to the meat and potatoes.
This is where we get amongst it.
Yeah.
Well, HSK picks up the AWP, so speaking of getting amongst it, a FAMAS picked up for COK, and hoping for GOSU to get this game rolling, because we've seen what the earlier portions of their rounds look like if they just don't find any entries. Smokes out towards B, sorry, A, excuse me. And a bit of mid-control there from News. You can hear him in con, you're like, I know they're in there, what the hell are they walking?
Yeah, but Jinx has baited him, absolutely baited him. News caught on the off timing, HSK getting one with the AWP there, but traded down by 9. All in all, however, this has been a solid defense from GOSU, the guns in their hands. Definitely shifting the tail of this story already. Mara and NCL to try and punch something away. It'll be a tough ask, though.
Peeking between the smokes as well. Stairs not favourable there. Mara does get the trade-off in the end, but GOSU enter nicely and finish it nicely as well, all back in hand.
Yeah, definitely a good start here for GOSU winning that first gun round. This is Storm Rider's map choice. They do have a better overall statistic on this map than what GOSU does. GOSU's sort of a bit average on this one, where Storm Rider's sitting a little bit above average. And then the same can be said, but swapped when we get onto Inferno, where GOSU has a bit of an advantage there. So, look, if we can get a map win here for GOSU, there's a chance actually that they could turn it into a 2-0. I would favour them a little bit on Inferno. I just don't know how solid they are actually going to be here on Mirage.
Yeah.
The main thing is, though, I think I see a lot more of Storm Rider playing against weaker opposition and a lot more of GOSU playing against stronger opposition. So when you look at the statistics, you think, oh, well, GOSU's only got, what, a 40% win rate or so on Mirage here. But the thing is, like, they're playing against teams like MVP and whatnot, where Storm Rider would be versing, you know, more domestic teams like the Mongolian teams and that kind of stuff. So the statistics do lie a little bit. I think GOSU might give us a bit of an interesting series here on Mirage, especially based on that first round that we got to see. News, though, we'll get the better of Jinx, who's caught on the off timing. And the A-bomb site looking a little bit weak now for GOSU. It just walks straight in there. Good work from Lakia, stepping up 2 kills. That is absolutely massive. Locking down ramp, and Storm Rider, it's all in shambles as a result.
Left up to 9 as well. Bombs down in con. And Sergey's got his eyes on the prize for GOSU. A much needed round if they can take this one away. But the people come through. Sergey just not there. And 9, he might miss the jump, but he will find the bomb and into the A-bomb site. That is completely empty with the rotation from GOSU heading towards B. Their cards on the 50-50, and they've chosen wrong.
Yeah, they're just gambling on the wrong site. Sioke going down like that was actually a big loss. I don't know that he needed to be doing anything all that much because they knew where the bomb was. He didn't need to check it, but gifts a kill.
Wow!
Over to the player in window, and now for GOSU, they have to try and walk all the way back over to the A-bomb site. In this time, they managed to at least pick up a kit there for Lakia, but this is going to be so tough, and 9 should shut down the first player. Will do that indeed. Stacks has dropped, and it's all on Lakia now.
Yep, through the smoke as well. Not going to take the risk, but it's too late. Yeah. The ult finishes and seals the deal.
I think a wasted opportunity there for GOSU, but in the end, Storm Rider will be quite happy, as that is going to result in the reset to the CT economy. Good couple of guns through for Storm Rider as well, so they're off to a mighty fine start here.
And for Storm Rider as well, let's not forget, they fell to the lower bracket quite a while ago against MVP. It was 2-1, where GOSU have made the upper bracket run. They bumped into MVP in the first qualification match and dropped down quite convincingly, if you consider convincingly to be at their loss. But for Storm Rider, they've been running the lower bracket, and this is their last chance to make it into the Asian Minors. The peek through from Van. Molly will eventually go out, but Stacks none the wiser. Just sitting here with the Deagle for Storm Rider. Probably going to be a very easy round, as it should be, but yeah. Mara sitting on the AWP, so have to think the primary AWPer in this situation.
Yeah. I mean, there's not a whole lot for GOSU to actually do in this round. They've stacked a couple of players over on B as a result of the kill that Mara can get. I want to see HSK have a good performance here for GOSU. I think he's a real bit of a barometer for the GOSU roster. Yep. If he's going well, then things tend to go well for GOSU, but the same can be said if he's having a poor performance. Unfortunately, again, GOSU's not quite going to read the play correctly. As they do get that kill into middle, they're going to rotate their way over to the A-bomb site, and Storm Rider's walking into B. Jinx has got himself an AK, so at the very least, GOSU's not going to come out of this round, you know, without anything at least to show, but I guess you can't really hope for much more in a round like this.
Definitely not. Storm Rider, they'll continue walking their way forward. A 4-1 here, a good start on Mirage. And GOSU just... Are we seeing the same issues from what we saw against MVP?
I mean, not so much at the moment just yet. It's hard to tell because we've only seen one gun round.
Because it was more about with MVP, I guess what we look out for is you know, their execution, especially in some of these aim battles.
A lot of the rounds that we saw from GOSU against MVP, they were on the T side. Didn't get so much of a CT side, at least early on in that first map. But GOSU's problem seemed to be like a bit of indecision when they were on the T side. On the CT side, they were just getting kind of rolled over by MVP and their superior firepower. It's not like GOSU was necessarily being outthought. In fact, it felt like they were kind of actually playing out the game better than what MVP was, but they just weren't executing. They weren't winning their aim battles. And to an extent, I'm not necessarily seeing that just yet from GOSU. I'm kind of getting the feeling that GOSU's not quite at the same tempo as what Storm Rider is. Like, Storm Rider is finding the off angles, finding the off timings, and GOSU's just not actually really having any aim duels to fight against Storm Rider. They're not being given the opportunities. They're not even giving themselves the opportunities. And we're already 6 rounds in, and we've literally only seen like 2 gun rounds out from GOSU.
We're seeing a hard push now, though, and you speak of execution here. It's going to rely up to Jinx to get this opening frag. Not looking the right way. News takes full advantage once again, pulls out the smoke, and off timing there. Luckier just has his way with it. It's an opportunity to cause a bit of an upset and at least get a couple of picks off, but in this double eco, GOSU once again are just going to have to give control back over to Storm Rider.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of damage done there by Storm Rider. Obviously, the AK was the only real chance for GOSU to get into that round and was just caught on the off timing again. That's what I'm talking about. GOSU's just, they're just not reading the play. They're not feeling it. Storm Rider just able to walk in, find some easy aim battles, and they're not even really aim battles at this point. They're just getting the sides and the backs of GOSU quite a lot. So I will hope to see a bit of a change up here when it does come to the next gun round for GOSU, which is going to be in this next round. Will be enough to buy pretty much everything. HSK can get an AWP and armor. I'll expect to see him with that. If they wanted a double AWP, they could go for it. It just means there'll be pretty much no utility for COK, but
Stacks picked up an M4.
Fair enough.
Well, who are we looking at for this double AWP setup? Was it COK?
COK would, at least in my mind, COK would be, because he was formerly the primary AWPer for GOSU. Because
Stacks was picking up the scouters. HSK, a crucial shot once again.
Well, he connected it, but just through the wall. So no kill. Very, very quick from Storm Rider. They recognize how many players are in mid and just run out onto A.
Well, 4 members heading fast. That's from GOSU now, but with the molly, with the smoke off as well. Lakia in the corner position on that ticket booth, but a 1-for-1 trade is there. Lakia hasn't been spotted out. He pops up to get more onto the site. Flashes out as well, and Lakia is still there and alive. It's a 3 versus 4.
They just need to use some of this utility here, GOSU. They have a couple of incendiaries. Get one of them into the firebox. You've got a smoke off A main. Make sure you make this retake work for you, not against you.
9 pushing up as well. He's just run into one of the CT. Mara gets a shot in off the side, but it's looking pretty good for GOSU here. Lakia picks off 2, and that's the round that they needed. 3 members left alive. They'll take it all the way.
Yeah, they really only threw like 1 flashbang and 1 incendiary, but GOSU makes it work in the end. An important round for them, but the next couple of rounds are going to be very, very important as well. It's not just a sort of a one-and-done situation here for GOSU, and they'll be happy with the 1 round. They need to follow it up here because they're down quite significantly. You drop another round here, that's, again, immediately going to be a reset for the CT side, and Storm Rider will continue on their merry way. As they're up to 5 already. They could go up 6-7 if they get a reset here onto GOSU. So every single round from here on out, very, very important for GOSU. HSK going to try something a little aggressively, but he does miss the jump, so has to just default back to connector. Puts him a little out of position here, as it makes it more difficult for him to get up into B, should he require that. Storm Rider, though, they're very, very convinced that the A bomb side is where they want to go, as they've been there a few times now in a row. And GOSU, well, to be fair, have had a little bit of trouble holding them off.
Well, Lucky's pushed up very aggressively as well. Jinx happy to stay around. Probably going to go towards Firebomb. What's it called?
Firebox.
Thanks so much. You see, Jordan, I play so much. But the thing is, I just call it sneaky peeky. And that's obviously wrong.
That's good enough for your silver matchmaking games.
Mate, what are you talking
Although, to be honest, in your silver matchmaking games, probably no one even talks anyway.
No one does. People play music over the mics. It's not good music. Storm Rider still haven't pulled the trigger yet. This is probably one of their slowest rounds.
It is, but there's a decent amount of counter utility still here for GOSU, and it's incendiary still for both HSK and Jinx. So if they get them down in time, this will be tough for Storm Rider. Doesn't look like those incendiaries are being thrown out just yet from the CT side, though.
HSK needs a shot, finally lands it. This time the opener's there, and GOSU find 2. Sugo comes back onto the site, and HSK actually landing a couple here. Has already picked up 2. The flashes are out. But as he pokes out, Sugo just gets 1 as a response. It's a 2 versus 2. COK's here as well. The peek out from boxes. Stacks.
Oh my God.
He's covered by COK. That's the main thing.
Well, I was kind of worried that COK would lose the aim duel and then Stacks would be looking in the wrong direction. That, again, was a pretty worrisome round for me. Luckily, the AWP does come through for HSK, so they won't have to reinvest in that, I don't think. HSK still seemed to be warming up a little bit, though, with the AWP. He missed a couple of shots that we would have expected him to hit ordinarily. We'll take a peek into middle. Let's see if he spots anybody out. No, the smoke is there from Storm Rider.
For HSK, it's just an important part of, I was going to say an important part of growing up. It's an important part in developing through this series. And again, GOSU, you know, it comes back to that point that they haven't been playing for 2 hours. Storm Rider have that small advantage. Smokes out onto short. Now, Nine's just sitting here with Bomb behind him. And Storm starting to play some of these slower paced rounds.
Yeah,
Whether
well,
that's
I think
working
what they're
for them.
trying to do is they're just trying to bait out a lot of the utility of GOSU because they kind of know that they have GOSU on the ropes a little bit when it comes to the money buy. So the utility isn't going to be quite as much for the CT side just yet.
After this round, it might be.
Yeah, exactly. So Storm Rider want to make sure that they can get this one working. They've got mid control, so they have options now. But Bomb's headed over toward B, or at least situating itself there. I'm a little worried now for Storm Rider that they're going to let this one go too late now that the bomb hasn't, has only just been picked up. They're going to be entering the A site with 20 seconds to go. Timing is going to be everything for them here. If it goes poorly on the entry, then, well, we can't afford to make a mistake with only 30 seconds left. That's all I'm saying.
So the move's got to come through soon. Bomb's there, ready to go to A. It's got to be the call. Sioko gets one on the back foot. Mirage is going to peek as well. But Jinx, not the right shot. Mara's still going to push forward, but Sioko actually landing so many shots here. He's been taken down. The clutch member of GOSU.
Shut it down.
Pushing through the smoke. Bomb plants on the right. He won't find it. Bomb does go down, but Luckier cleans up enough. Is it going to be good? 4-9. He's going to push back around jungle. Might just leave it.
Bomb plant's not good for him, but they don't have any idea where he's coming from. So if he can get into CT, he'll be able to find Stax for free. Perhaps not. It really depends on the timing, which way Stax is looking. But the peak's not even going to come now from 9. And GOSU will win the round. They don't want to lose another player. It's very important that Stax is able to get that kill, or at least survive, more so than actually get the kill. It'll reset, of course, Storm Rider regardless. But for GOSU, they just need to get more and more guns left alive because their money's still really struggling. All these rounds have been so close indeed. Storm Rider should take an eco here. They don't have the money to really fully buy into it. And they can definitely afford to take an eco at this point.
Well,
another shaky round, though, for...
absolutely.
For both teams, actually. Like, GOSU there could have really gone either way. When they get the players coming out from Connector and there's that instant 1B, you think, oh dear, this might look so bad. But Lakia gets the timing right. Probably could have actually denied the bomb plant and kind of ended the round then and there, but decided to take the player that was actually still able to fight as opposed to the guy that was sticking the plant. All in all, though, it's a round win on the board for GOSU. They'll be happy with that. It is going to be a force through from Storm Rider. I'm not sure that I necessarily agree. It is going to leave them with a bit of a lack of utility, but I guess that is currently the meta anyway. You just buy as much as you can. As long as you can get AKs in your hands, you may as well go for it and see if it works. To be honest, GOSU's money's not that great, so why not give this a crack actually as Storm Rider? GOSU have given up the first frag here, so problems abound now. Even losing an aim battle against a Galil with an M4. It's not looking good for GOSU here. Lakia needs to come up absolutely massive.
Oh, there's the first. The second comes through. You said he needs to come up massive. He just needs his third kill onto NCL. But he's on top of him. Spotted out. Caught unawares. Stax as well, looking for the peek over the smoke. He won't find it. Resorts to sitting back behind Ticket and hoping that Storm Rider can't get the plant. They're going to rotate it anyway.
Yeah,
head towards B. So
much utility unused early on in the round from GOSU, and Storm Rider obviously able to rush their way into the A-bomb side and trade out effectively. Such is the nature of Counter-Strike right now. It would have been lovely for Sogu to actually get that kill onto for Stax to get the kill onto Sogu, bring it back into a 2v2. But it's not going to happen here for GOSU, and I think they'll probably just try and save these two weapons through. Won't really allow them to actually buy, but they'll have an eco with an AK and a AWP, which is still a little dangerous.
This GOSU is still picking up some rounds on the board. Doesn't feel like a complete shutout. Doesn't feel like the MVP game.
No, definitely not. It's not at that point, but it is still favouring Storm Rider at the moment, especially given it's their map pick. I think if they go through from this first half having even like a 9-6 advantage, Storm Rider's probably favoured to close this map out. And then really, when we get on to Inferno, that's when GOSU's going to have to fight back into this one. Just not really seeing enough consistency, enough solid rounds out from GOSU to make me think that they can actually do a whole lot right now on the CT side of Mirage. The rounds that they have won have come down to timings, individual players having good moments, and that's really been the crux of it. It hasn't been like a big solid win from GOSU in any of those rounds. They've had at most 2 players left alive, which is still kind of getting down to the wire, never really allows their economy to build up. It will be a force behind the weapons actually. Not an amazing one. We've got the MP9, we've got the FAMAS. There's a decent amount of utility here, so GOSU are going to hope to see them actually use it at this time, especially if it is a B push out here from Storm Rider.
Only one member on B, the rest on short. You can see COK and HSK holding mid. But at the moment as well, these rounds have been coming down to Lakia, and if Lakia, excuse me, falls down early, usually it's GOSU kind of losing the round.
Yeah, would have to agree. HSK hasn't really had a way into this match. He hasn't been able to find the early kills with the AWP, which is really what you want to see on Mirage. It's a very an AWP-centric map, you know. It's one that the AWP can actually dictate. If you're playing aggressively with the AWP, or if you're finding yourself in the right position with the AWP, you can really shut things down. But HSK, he hasn't had any impact on any of these rounds, really, apart from the one on the A bomb site. And Storm Rider getting their way up in toward mid. GOSU just doesn't seem to have any real idea exactly where they are. Again, timing, positioning. GOSU has no idea where Storm Rider is, and they're just walking around the map getting kills.
Jinx is alone here as well with an MP9. Now he's got a smoke, but won't get the chance to use it as Sogu just walks into sight. Control back again to A, and this might just be another chance to save for GOSU. Whether they take it,
It is. Like, you have to. I don't think you can retake the bomb site 5v3 at this point. GOSU just don't seem to have a great grasp of the timings here on Mirage, and they're not able to gather any information at all, it seems. Like, their aggressive pushes, if there are just getting shut down pretty easily by Storm Rider, and most of the time we're just seeing GOSU play very, very passively. So...
because it's definitely not a problem individually. Because I think individually there are moments
they're
where...
on the same level as Storm Rider at the very least. I don't think it's like, oh yeah, they're just losing aim battles. It's like Storm Rider is just walking around the map, finding the timings, finding the rotations, catching GOSU off guard.
And Storm Rider walking ahead.
And GOSU's never been able to get a decent economy built up.
Yeah.
Which makes life even more difficult.
Always inconsistent. Off the back, Jinx is not having the most measurable game as well.
Yep.
So Jinx getting caught out, left on this A bomb site with an MP9. He's going to have to save here. HSK will take that AWP through COK with the M4, and Stax does pick up an AK, but what does it all mean here, considering GOSU aren't able to really move forward with any of these rounds? AKs across the board, and for Storm Rider, slow push through mid. They've regained control. They've gone unders as well, I believe. And it's split towards A. Nothing needs to happen here. Storm Riders still feel like they have control and can choose where they want to go.
Yeah, Storm Riders literally done exactly what they needed to against the setup that GOSU has got. They have that aggressive hold in toward A ramp for the CT side, and Storm Riders gone Palace, they've gone mid. There's no contest at all from GOSU at this point, and now they're all, again, caught out of position as Storm Rider starts to make their way into the A bomb site. It's the same old story.
It's HSK as well. He won't get burned alive, he'll just get shot in the head instead. Now Lakia had an opportunity once more, but...
time to save our guns again, boys. Literally been a save for like 4 or 5 rounds in a row now from GOSU. They haven't been able to do anything in any of these rounds. The rounds are over before they've even started because
they can chase them out now.
GOSU just don't have the timing. They don't have the positioning. They're not getting themselves where they need to be when they need to be there.
Kind of like a sad falling. It's like, you ever watch Spirited Away?
No.
Okay.
I'm not a weeb.
Is that about being a weeb? Does that movie make you a weeb individually?
You're a weeb apologist.
What do you mean? What does that mean? I'm good at, like, I know the art? What? It's fair. Well, whatever I am, Jordan. It's not going to matter here. Storm are absolutely outplaying GOSU here in this first matchup. And Mirage seems to be a bit of a catalyst so far in our qualifiers. Seems to be the decider, or at least the deal breaker for some of these teams. And even though it is the first map, you got to ask questions going forward. What is GOSU going to look like?
I just think this is GOSU not really having a great grasp on the map, to be honest. At least on the CT side of the map. But if they can't really play the CT side out, then obviously the T side you wouldn't have too much faith in either. Storm Rider will be setting themselves up once again toward the A bomb site. GOSU have once again put themselves in the wrong spot. They're in middle. Storm Rider's going to walk out onto A unless Lakia steps up and has a big round for himself here, which he could. There is a bit of a hole in that smoke, but to be honest, again, GOSU need to do something. Need to get themselves in the right spot. Storm Rider this time not aware that there's a hole in the smoke, and GOSU do find the advantage. That's a much better round for the CT side.
Getting creative with positioning. Sogo actually finds 2. Here comes the repeat. Third, runs out of bullets.
Could have been dangerous. Could have been dangerous.
GOSU does find 1. Doesn't mean their economy's back to square 1, or at least in a positive manner, but
no.
It does bring some kind of hope back into this round.
Yeah, turn it into an 8-7 half here, and GOSU, you might have a chance. But obviously Storm Rider has enough money to reinvest in here. The interesting thing, though, is that Storm Rider's money is actually pretty low now. So a loss in this round for Storm Rider probably does result in us getting to a 7-8 first half.
Comes in off the back stacks, even though we've been saving for like 4 or 5 rounds in a row.
Faster play by the looks of things here from Storm Rider, and that's already caught GOSU up once or twice.
Couple flash out. Lucky has just been gifted something from the gods. The last pick comes through from Jinx. It's 3 already. Storm Rider haven't been able to do anything. The pick around from Jinx having a much better round here. And Storm Rider left with 1 against 3.
Oh, I can just tell COK wants to jump at Mara at this point, but that would be such a mistake right now. Mara eventually will get knocked down by a scout headshot from HSK. No, he's just been blocked for the AK. So he'll have to run out with the scout here or upgrade to an M4. Maybe Jinx could drop an AWP for HSK. It doesn't look like that's going to be the option, though. Oh, I'm not sure who's dropped it, but regardless, where was that earlier in the half from GOSU? Adapting on the fly, being able to rotate into the bomb site quicker. They just seemed really lost for, I don't know, 5 or 6 rounds during the middle stages of this first half, and only now towards the end has it started to look pretty reasonable actually for GOSU, but it could be too little too late. 8-7 though, if they make it to 8-7,
then there's a chance.
It's pretty, you know, it's pretty 50-50 at that point. It depends what GOSU's got on the T side. But definitely a favourable map for Storm Rider nonetheless. Storm Rider in this round though don't have too much cash to play with.
Jinx targeting Zed. Expecting probably the best. He'll find the opening frag. Good round so far. COK actually just finds him through the smoke. 9's down. Storm Rider lose 2. Mara pushing out onto the A site, and this is going to be pretty quick. They want to recover what they can, but immediately GOSU say no, and this half suddenly becomes a little bit more interesting.
Yeah, much more solid there in the last 3 rounds from GOSU than what we had seen up to that point. Heading into the second half here, I haven't seen too much of GOSU actually on Mirage, now that I think about it. So I can't say that I'm hugely confident about how they're going to be playing out this T side. A little bit worried, in fact, actually. Even what we saw in the first half on the CT side gives me the belief that their understanding of Mirage or the way that they play it out isn't really where it needs to be.
No.
But maybe up against Storm Rider, which is, in theory, a weaker opposition, it could be enough. Pistol round, obviously, important. I'm going to favour Storm Rider at this point, though. I do feel like they have a better grasp of the map.
Yeah, due to that opening as well.
Yep.
I mean, you can't go past it. A couple of good last rounds there.
Yeah, a lot of the rounds
GOSU
as well that GOSU was able to get were just individuals having a nice 2-man spray down or whatnot.
It's the back of luck, yep. So we begin again. And we ask if GOSU can keep somewhat of a semblance of control here moving in the second half. 9 just spraying through the smoke, if you even want to call that a spray. The push onto short. And Mara, going to see this one coming, pulls back. Only one on B for now, needs to be a rotation through the market.
Yeah, GOSU just trying to get some short control so they can make their way into the connector a little bit safer. It looks like a nice take into the A site here for GOSU, but they need to close the distance. Don't take these long-range battles against USPs. It's going to be one Binks out from Storm Rider, I'm sure.
Pushes there through jungle. That's a quick tap there from News. Sogo pops his head out as well.
God, what is the plan here for GOSU? What are they doing? They're just running around in jungle. They haven't really committed to a site. Making their way toward B now. That's a good kill from COK. Actually really opens things up as Bomb is rotating through apartments. HSK is going to get NCL as well in the meanwhile. But still a chance here for 9 and Sogu to deny that bomb plant, to cause havoc for GOSU here. That's what they're going to try and do. COK will shut that down. It's just Sogu left alive now. In a 1v3, too many angles to watch. Very weird pistol round out there from GOSU. Back and forth across the map. The mid-round calls, deciding where they want to go. In the end, works out nicely for them. COK getting the kill on the B bomb site really opens things up. Had that not been the case, it could have been a big problem for them. All in all, though, pistol to GOSU puts us at 8 apiece. Individual
members from GOSU stepping up big once again. That's going to give GOSU most likely the lead in this map for the first time. Well, there's a will, there's a way. GOSU may not understand Mirage as well as Storm Rider, but some members just triumphing in these aim battles. And that's all it comes down to.
End of the day, if you shoot better, you win.
Who knew?
Big stack on the A-bomb side here from Storm Rider. And GOSU might be walking into it.
Thinking about B. I saw nothing.
I think they're thinking about mid at this point. Throwing some smokes into middle. Jinx is going to have an explore over toward A. I could definitely see this one going poorly for GOSU. Obviously, it is just USPs, but when you run into a 5-stack, things tend to go awry pretty quickly.
News is standing up here on scaffolding. The push is going to be into A. Or at least threatening for the time being. Jinx sees no one on stairs. He's going to peek around now. News is still there, waiting. I think he knows he's there as well. The Galil spray comes through, but Jinx drops down. NCL with the angle as well. And there's a bit of a collapse here. Even on the eco, GOSU struggling a little bit. They will eventually take out 3 members. Now the 4th. 2 left alive, and Mara, he should be able to clutch this one out. Looks a little bit too hard for him at the moment, even with that head armor on Stacks and COK. So 3 guns out, GOSU almost walk into a death trap.
Yeah, absolutely. COK and Stacks left alive. Good little defense from Storm Rider to be able to do that much damage. Storm Rider, now with their first gun round coming out, have been forced a couple of Galils into the hands of GOSU. They want to get that extra utility out on Lakia. It's not a great round for either of these two teams when it comes to the vibe, but it really is going to be a very important round for setting up the rest of the half.
Mara sitting on B with the AWP as well. Bomb is on short. That's a quick one tap there from COK, opening things up once again. And Storm, their defense going to be a little bit harder now. 9 and HSK about to kiss for the first time. The music's on. Rose is on the bed. HSK makes the first move, or maybe 9 does. It looked a little bit awkward for HSK. But 9 used a little bit too much tongue. And now we're equal again. A 4v4. The push comes out. It's GOSU who are trying to control the A site. News sitting here in Firebox.
Oh my goodness. How's he not been spotted? How is he still alive?
I know he's there now.
Shut this down.
9 comes in as well. So these aim battles starting to work out here for GOSU.
Definitely. Those AKs in their hands. Being put to good use. Mara trying to save that AWP. We'll probably get away with this one. Don't think anyone from GOSU is too keen on chasing it down. Their own economy is actually in a pretty precarious position right now as well.
For GOSU, they take a firm lead. Jordan, things have changed, you know? Things have definitely changed. GOSU looks shocking at the start of Mirage. And Storm Rider now struggling a little bit to hold sights. Like you said, individual performances coming through. And COK's just moved ahead. 17 and 9 here. So individuality going to be a big part moving forward.
Bit of pressure now for Mara in this round. It's not the be-all, end-all for Storm Rider, of course, but starting to let the second half slip a little bit in the favor of GOSU. Mara's the way that Storm Rider stopped that flow.
Yeah.
With the AWP here, but he's in middle, and GOSU have absolutely no interest in middle at this point. Once those smokes come down on the A bomb site here from GOSU, Mara's effectiveness is going to be completely nullified.
Flashes out as well. Here comes a breach. Only an AWP there. But, Mara actually sitting on the A side. He's looking at Con right now, NCL.
Ooh.
Bit of disruption there, actually.
What is going on?
Storm Rider somehow in Firebox. That AWP has done a bit of work already. It was News who actually picked up 2 frags. Bombs down.
Oh my god.
And it's out in the open. HSK has no right being there.
Well.
And boy, oh boy, I'm not sure what happened there, Jordan, but Storm Rider picked it.
Yeah, that is what happens to GOSU. They just took a little bit too long to actually attack the site once they had the smokes down. Allowed the rotation to come in from Storm Rider. They hit some nice shots. And the pistol round will go the way of the CT side. GOSU immediately reset. And now it's just an awkward buy for GOSU. I think it's because Lakia bought into it. Otherwise, maybe just a really late call to buy. GOSU are going to try and reset Storm Rider themselves. But to be honest, Storm Rider's money's not actually that bad right now.
Mara was able to take the AWP into the next round too.
Pretty important for GOSU to actually win this. Establish that normalcy.
It's been a hard ass so far. See if they can push through. AWP finds the opening. There's Lakia down. The push through from CAK doesn't check bench.
Yeah.
Mara's still there. They will open up onto Sogu. Mara actually drops down as well, so some missed shots there from the AWPer.
Going to be very tough for GOSU to get the bomb down here. They actually need to push forward and try and take some aim battles, which is what Stax is going to do, but he'll lose that, and HSK's got no chance here with a Mac 10 and no HP. Round is going to go the way of Storm Rider. Best scenario for GOSU here is that he'll be able to get the bomb down, which it looks like is going to be the case. I'll never say never, right? But if he manages to pull this off,
The dream.
I would be absolutely gobsmacked. And it would be a huge failure from Storm Rider if HSK gets this.
You can hear them rotating. Go sneak up on them.
No way.
Oh,
He's been spotted
he
now.
gets blinded. They're like, oh, well, no worries.
I think they only turned around because of that flashbang, so that's unfortunate for HSK. Best case, though, is he'll be able to get out onto the B-bomb side and keep that AWP alive. Has to deal with NCL first, though, and this angle is not going to be easy to fight in. Good shot from HSK, though. Will keep himself alive. 10 apiece for GOSU and Storm Rider. Very, very close indeed. And another force buy through here for GOSU by the looks of things. Again, their money is not really good enough to continue to force buy like this. They're going to have an AK and an AWP and then a bunch of trash, really.
Mac 10 UMP picked up, and this round goes astray.
Maybe HSK's feeling it with the AWP. He said, hey, I can do this.
Well, he's going to hold mid to con.
Money is still low for Storm Rider, so you can understand why GOSU wants to keep forcing into these rounds. They're keeping Storm Rider honest, but if you just keep forcing in and trying to win these rounds with a poor buy, inevitably it gets to a situation where GOSU's kind of run out of time and I don't know.
Well, Stax is in the middle of con with nothing to do but wait. Smokes out every which way there on the A-bomb site. And Con was the play at one point, but they've kind of backed off, still sitting at top of mid. Looking towards short as well. Now, Mara's there with the AWP on the B-bomb site. Push through is from Sogu. He's going to be looking for the flank now. And if he can get this bomb down, then the round kind of flip-flops around for GOSU. 45 seconds left. And they finally do make a move. The question we're asking when they were versing MVP is they just need to make a move. They leave place for so long. This is going to be their last play, and News is sitting right here to push through. Double kill for News. He might even find the third until he's shut up by HSK.
Yeah, well, he got binked there as well before he even fired a shot. But of course, no AKs for GOSU mean that they can't do anything in this round. I just don't know about that buy from GOSU, but it's going to result in another round here for Storm Rider. And Lakia just needs to try and do as much damage as he can. There should be some noise being made right now, so he should be aware there's a player coming. NCL will go down. Lakia will get away with the M4. Still keeping these rounds close, GOSU, but close enough is not good enough. At a certain point, you need to actually win the round, reset the CT economy, build your own T side. Surely this has to be an eco out from GOSU now. Even if it is just pistols invested in. Lakia's got the M4, but you can't buy behind it. have to take the eco, have to try and make this round a close one, just to ensure that all that work that they've been trying to do up to this point is still relevant. This goes the way of Storm Rider with 5 guns alive. It sort of excuses how close all the rest of the rounds were.
But if not, well, then maybe we've got ourselves a bit of a series. Slow push towards A main. And News is just watching that angle. Mara's here as well. Wait for the peek. Shot doesn't land.
Yeah, where's the utility usage here from GOSU? They've invested into it. They might as well throw it.
News sitting around this corner as well. He may be flashed out.
He didn't see Sioke because he was fully flashed.
They're all here though. And remember, they're all eco except for Luckier. News needs these shots. He just gets rushed in by HSK, but the round's already over.
GOSU so indecisive. They get out onto the side and then they just sit there and wait for Storm Rider to rotate across before they actually push in. That was a problem we saw against MVP, where GOSU would get an advantage or an opening and they wouldn't really take it.
Yeah.
They would just sit around for a little bit and
indecisive.
let that timer run down. Yeah, indecision maybe. The call not coming out fast enough. Now GOSU have got a half-decent buy to play with.
Fine, if they lose this one, then say goodbye to Mirage. Oh boy. Hope I look that good when I'm 50.
Yeah.
Jinx is going to peek this, but Mara, ooh, the leg.
Yeah, I think Jinx spotted him and takes the wide peek. Mara getting caught off. Nice individual play from Jinx, but you could always say that could have possibly gone the way of Mara, so it's a 50-50 play at the end of the day.
Looking for A once again, though. COK hovers mid. Smokes her out. Here comes the push. This peek. Sogu's going to see them in a second.
Oh yeah, he's going to spam away through. Does a bit of damage, actually. We'll get a free kill. And 9 able to chime in there as well. Someone needs to trade out here. And they're not being able to. News and shutting them down as well. Stax has gotten 2, but it's 2v2 now. And Stax is on basically no HP. Needs to retrieve that bomb as well and get out. If they can get to the B bomb site, there's a chance here.
COK, moments off.
He
actually does see him.
Yeah, he did. That's huge. COK, again, coming up massive for his team.
That's up to NCL. Rotation coming through. B the play.
Well, this is just a timing game. COK might get caught off. NCL spots him, but COK, it's a great shot.
What a ripper.
He's having a pretty good game. Need to get COK involved in these rounds earlier.
Keeping GOSU alive at this point. Storm Rider probably going to be the one to call that pause. And at this point, you're going, well, these are rounds we should realistically win.
Yeah, it's just mistakes on both sides. And missed shots on both sides, costing them rounds. But very, very close indeed. GOSU here is going to be faced up against a forced buy from Storm Rider. The buy itself is not actually too bad here for the CT side. NCL won't have a rifle. Well, he'll have a FAMAS, but that barely counts, I think, at this point. GOSU has the opportunity once again to reset Storm Rider. Let's see if they'll be able to do it, or if it's going to be a bit of deja vu of what they faced against MVP, where they were so close to resetting them multiple times on the T side, but were never able to do it. And this actually could win the map for GOSU if they win this round here. Force Storm Rider onto an eco. GOSU gets ahead. It might be just enough to play with to finish Mirage off in their favor.
It's been a messy back and forth so far. And for GOSU, it would kind of be like a, well, a redemption story towards the end of this T side. Let's see, though. Because there's one big round. AK's all around for GOSU at this point. Still scouting for information, and see the spread coming through from Storm Rider. No mid control whatsoever from GOSU.
Yep. Very, very light on the A setup here for the CT side. GOSU not really deciding what they want to do at the moment, but it does look like if they get control of the underpass here and able to get toward middle, it is going to be an A split. Utilities coming into the A bomb site though, and GOSU have not yet decided to go off of it. They're not committed. Slowly making their way in.
9 What an opener on Jinx. Strange pickings there. COK actually walks in, takes down News. Luck here again. These two core players that are just being stars here today. Yeah. The push is onto A, and now it's kind of relying on the retake. 9 still here.
There's 20 seconds left on the clock. GOSU needs to make something happen here, and quickly. What is going on?
9 actually stopping the plant. He's going to go for the peek again. A low member just peeks his head out through the boxes. Gosh. Can't find the collide at all, but that's all they need.
That was a terrible round from GOSU.
GOSU just sandwiched it.
Okay, so they throw all of their smokes and their utility, and then they stand in main because they're scared of the guy with the M4 spamming at them. So they just stand there for like 10 or 15 seconds. All the smokes disappear. Then they go. And then the guy with the bomb decides to plant for CT when CT's not covered, CT's not smoked.
Not mollied.
And the freest round I've ever seen for Storm Rider. I don't know what GOSU was thinking. I don't know if they were thinking.
Probably not.
That was not a good round. No,
it wasn't. And that's probably going to be the way it ended. You take a pause after that 9 times out of 10. And we're in one of those 9 times. So we'll wait for GOSU to get there together and see what they can achieve in the 26th round.
I don't know if that's like pressure getting to them at that point or just a poor understanding of how they want to take the A side of Mirage.
I don't even think it's pressure at this point. We got against MVP. Well, arguably they're both qualification matches and they're both very important for them. So yes, it would be pressure, but for GOSU...
I mean, that didn't even feel like a pressure or anything. That was just fundamental mistakes being made.
Too overly cautious at times that don't need caution.
Yeah, they're very scared. It feels like they're scared, and I don't understand why. It was a good execute. You just need to make something happen from it. Now they're going to run into the B bomb site with pistols. Storm Rider's going to have an easy round there, cleaning things up. I think that's the straw that breaks the camel's back for GOSU that last round. It's given Storm Rider a strong economy. It's given them some momentum heading now into these last couple of rounds. We might just see a 16-11 here. GOSU have got one more chance. They can buy in this round. But they're back to square one. They can't reset Storm Rider straight away here. They'll need 2 round wins. They reset. It'll be 14-14. And then Storm Rider will have another buy through.
And you're relying on the fact that GOSU can make this round work, though. And it all comes back to one moment. Lakia and who else do we want to talk about? I mean, at this point, it's just the thing. Who do you talk about GOSU?
Well, COK's been having okay performances, times, when he's had individual moments.
Lakia had good CT-sided.
Yeah, Lakia was good on the CT side, COK same. But it hasn't been like a solid team effort here from GOSU. It's just been individuals stepping up. Now they're going to shift walk up into Mara's scope.
Mara drops a bomb carrier, doesn't matter, the push continues, but look at this, they've just walked blindly in. Well, if Mara finds that shot, maybe it's a different story, but...
Yeah, that round would have been over if Mara got another kill there. But GOSU have been given a little bit of room to play with now. The door has been left ajar.
The Christmas dinner.
Storm Rider won't go for the retake here, there's no point. I understand that they have quite a reasonable economy at this point. There's no point throwing it away and potentially ruining the rest of this map for themselves. They'll just give this one up. They'll buy through next round, of course, onto Mara, but they'll still be afforded another buy after this. And that's purely because Mara missed a shot. It wasn't like GOSU did anything to take that bomb site.
Yeah.
They literally were running up short.
Mara finds that shot, and as you said, that round's done.
I mean, it's not necessarily done, right? But
more than likely
it's
done.
It wasn't anything that GOSU did well. It was just Mara missing a shot that's given that round to Storm Rider. But 14-12, GOSU still have a lot of work to do here.
Hoping from the AWP from HSK again. Hoping being the key word. But Mara back on the AWP of his own. And we'll see if Storm Rider can secure it here and now. And for GOSU, bit of funds to work with as a force for the last round if we do get there. But if this one goes away, Storm Rider kind of have another quick chance. Otherwise, OT could be a possibility.
Could be.
I feel like I'll be here for a long time if OT comes up.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, Jordan, if you wanted to go home tonight,
Well, I was looking at going home tomorrow morning, to be honest.
After what we've seen on Mirage. Completely agree. Nine's just been spotting onto stacks. And this time, we're going slow. Stack's going to push out. 9. Doesn't connect. Only a bit of damage onto stacks, so this opens, once again, things up for GOSU.
Yeah.
What can they do with it?
We will have to see. 2 players still on the B bomb site right now for Stormrider, so they have ample opportunities to hold this one off. Neither of the players on B, though, have got utility, and that is always a big part of holding onto the site. We'll see flashbangs spammed over here by GOSU. Mara's flashed out fully, has to back away, gives away his position. Sogu, unchecked! Why do they not check?
And we'll get him eventually. But that could have just cost the round, maybe not. Mara backs off, but not in time, and NCL's left on the site. News here as well. It's 3 versus 2. HSK got flashed out, re-peaked at the wrong moment. Smoke's out too. Lots of utility here from Stormrider. The push through from News towards bench. No one there, but the peak's going to come around. Just the side, just the tip. News through as well. NCL coordination from Stormrider. And GOSU, what are you doing?
I've got no idea. It was not a bad entry into the side, all things considered, but the post-plant positions there from GOSU is just not great. I just don't know what to say. It just doesn't. GOSU just don't. They don't have the great understanding of Mirage that they need to beat Stormrider here. They've had so many chances, so many positions, but just can't take advantage of it. Stormrider's been given so many rounds that probably shouldn't have been given to them. Anyway, GOSU, they'll be able to force a reasonable buy through here.
Looking down the final round though, I think, Jordan. Nah, I'm just kidding. Who knows?
I think we are, probably. I mean, I don't think there's a chance that GOSU comes back and put this one into overtime at this point. They will need 3 rounds in a row. They've really struggled to get 2 rounds in a row on the T side here. And when they haven't really looked solid.
Getting car-sick by the thing. Well, Stormrider put the nail in the coffin, put this game far, far away from anyone's reach. Luckier. Well, that's the opening frag there onto the A-bomb site. Jordan's nodding his head. GOSU pick up a couple of quick kills.
I just don't understand where was this earlier from GOSU, you know what I mean? Like, they could have been so much more decisive in so many more rounds, but they were so scared. And now, when it's 15-12, they decide, you know what? Let's just try something. Let's try and make something happen. Let's try and catch Stormrider off guard. Let's actually be confident with that MAC-10. And they managed to make it work. So it'll be at least another round here for GOSU.
And boy, oh boy, are we going the distance.
Yeah, probably. I mean, we are. We already are.
This feels like this map's gone on for the whole best-of-3 series.
It has been a very, very long game. Frustrating as well.
Oh, from both sides. I hope they're as frustrated as we are.
Will be a good buy for Stormrider regardless. Double AWP. I wonder if GOSU know that it's a double AWP. See what the change up is here from the T side. Smoke's going to be going down into mid window. No answering Molotov out there from Stormrider to
Straight
make
out.
a one-way.
Nine with a good angle. He will find the opening. It's actually a good nade in response though. Mara sitting here, double AWP mid. And punishing for anyone that comes out. Smoke allowing as well. And that opening frag. Maybe that puts an end to it. In this match, I honestly don't know.
I think it probably does. I don't see GOSU having the structure to come back from a 4v5. Good positions being set up here by Stormrider. Haven't seen that yet on the B-bomb site from them.
Still committing to mid. Small peek. 9 doesn't find it. Smokes out again.
No flashes, nothing to allow them out into mid, but they managed to get out anyway. So there you go.
NCL sitting in a little hovel. They'll rotate away from mid. Up towards Apps. Up towards the B bomb site most likely, unless they choose to wrap around. Back through unders.
Mara just needs one here as they're making their way into the site, and that's probably it done, because Sogu's position is not one that you'll check so easily, especially if you're worried about an AWP shooting you at the same time. If Mara survives here, which he should, this angle's very hard to deal with as a T.
Oh, actually, the other one comes through instead. 2 AWPs on B bomb site. The nightmare continues. And finally, this nightmare, you'd say, ends there with Storm Rider picking up a win.
Yeah, well, for GOSU, it's definitely a nightmare. It was not a fun map for them by any means. Definitely a nice win for Storm Rider, but to be that close against GOSU, who didn't really seem to have an amazing grasp of the map, I mean, I'm a little bit worried still for Storm Rider, actually. That was their map choice and a very, very close map in the end. A lot of those rounds I felt probably could have gone the way of GOSU, maybe should have gone the way of GOSU. In the end, they don't.
Yep.
I think we're probably in for a long series based on that.
I think we're going to Inferno next, right? I can't remember. Yeah, so we're going to Inferno next, and Inferno has typically been that map that kind of, you know, can really have an imbalance to it. Can go to overtime quite easily. I feel.
Definitely.
So I'm looking forward to that, Jordan, and I'm sure we'll go a bit of the journey. So for me there, I think we'll be looking at Storm Rider going forward to kind of just fix up some of their play, because they do look like the stronger team. And they definitely look like the better team.
It's easy to say, though, on that one map, like, yeah, sure, they looked like the better team on that map, but that was because GOSU didn't look good on that map. I definitely think there are better maps left in this pool here for GOSU. I still feel as though GOSU, the individuals, are going to be able to step up here on Inferno. For me, Inferno should definitely be GOSU's map, and we should be going to a third.
Well, let's find out. Second map coming up next is Inferno between GOSU and, of course, Storm Riders. Sorry, it has been a very long day. Excuse me. We'll be right back after this short break.